Let's get right into questions for you. Let's go to James Crepia.
Missy, just wanted to get an update on Tara now that it's been nearly a month, figuring even a fracture or break. I know she had the cast on, that would be coming right around 4 to 6 weeks is kind of normal timetable there. Is she close to at least practicing at that point and getting back on the field?
We're close. We're close. Like we're right at the end of it. So we're just kind of getting to the last stretch of it, but we're real close.
And then in following with that, just it's a good problem to have when Val is playing like she is. Your thoughts initially at this point in terms of when she does come back, how you'll keep all these bats in the lineup who are hitting pretty well for you.
I think it's a great problem to have. And what I think is nice is that we're able to, see with matchups and who's hot, who may have cooled down, whatever the case may be, and how we want to go about that, where she would fit in the lineup. So just when we get to it, then we'll figure it out. But right now I've been extremely proud of our current lineup and what they've been doing. Val being in the 4th spot and how she's handled that has been huge for us.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, staying on the injury front, without Brooke, do you need or would you prefer someone on staff, develop into a clear-cut number 1 starter?
I think, you definitely need to have starters. You have different roles, whether you're a starter, whether you're a leader, a relief, someone that comes in relief. So I think you're seeing that right now with the way these guys are throwing. They just need to continue to do what they're doing. I think every game we've been in, our pitching staff has given us a chance to win. So if it's somebody going 7, we'll take it. If it's somebody going 4 and then I have a middle and somebody to close, we have that opportunity as well. So we miss Brooke, but with Brooke out, I still think his pitching staff is very deep and capable to do what we've set out to do.
Chris Tracy.
Coach, going into this weekend, what are the goals or expectations or, boxes that you're looking to check for the team? That they've been rising to the occasion when you've challenged them. What is the challenge this weekend?
Honestly, I think the challenge just kind of stays the same. Like these guys are starting to understand who they are and, the way they live as a team, offensively, defensively, and pitching. So I think it's understanding that now each weekend we're going into a super regional and we're going to play a very good team every single weekend. So opportunity, when we have opportunity, you have to take it. You can't let it slip by. Utah's too good of a team for that. You've got to be able to cash in on your opportunities in all 3 areas.
Ryan Milano.
Coach, some familiar faces in the opposite dugout that you're going to face up against this weekend. Paige Parker, DJ Gasso, people who you're familiar with from your time at Oklahoma.
Oh, I think you just muted. You muted yourself.
Can you speak on your relationship with Paige Parker, DJ Gasso, the 2 people who you have some familiar ties with from Oklahoma, and what it's going to be like playing up against them?
For sure. I've known DJ since the day he was born. I've known him for a long, long time. It's been awesome to watch him grow from a child to, a teenager to a man. And he's had coaching in him since day 1. When he was little, he would run around our camps and coach at our camps. And I knew he was going to be a coach as he continued to get older and get more experienced. I'm very proud of him and everything he's accomplished. So I'm a big fan of DJ's. Paige Parker and I, she pitched for me when I was there and just have a great relationship with Paige as well. And she's another one that just watching her play, I knew she was going to be a coach after she got done playing. I don't think she did, but then eventually she did. She's tremendous. You can see just in the short time she's been there, what she's done for their pitching staff. So I love them both very dearly, and I'm happy for all their successes, and we'll, continue.
James? Your thoughts on Bondstrom in particular, Missy? Obviously her stats really jump out, and it's always easy to say to not let the opposing best hitter beat you. But I know that was a challenge, at least with Mizzou in particular, where their hitter got you guys. So just what have you seen from Bondstrom and obviously the power and average that she hits for?
Yeah, she's a great athlete. She is an excellent hitter. We've faced her a lot, and she's going to be tough. We definitely, don't want her or anybody on that team to beat us. But obviously, we're very aware of who she is and what she's been doing up to this point.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Pac-12 as a whole heading into conference season? And, have you been able to see anybody else play that much this year to kind of get us the sense for what's out there?
Yeah, we've gotten to see them all play. I mean, softball's been everywhere all of February, March. I mean, it's either streaming or it's on TV, which has been unbelievable to see it, everywhere this early in the year. So I think the Pac's going to be extremely tough. I think it's a new year, but nothing different than what it's always been. I think it's important that we understand how to go in and beat teams, because anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
Chris Tracy.
Coach, you were talking about the pitching. One question I had is the couple of mistakes that the pitching staff seems to have made have kind of been, home runs as a result, so a couple of hangers, but by and large, the mistakes have really turned into runs, if you will. Not a lot of hits in general, but is there any concern perhaps with the Salt Lake or with the Utah being a bit higher elevation, the ball carrying a bit more? Is there any change in approach that you would have the pitching staff do, try to keep the ball down a little bit? Anything like that?
Our pitchers are our pitchers. We have pitchers that are up ball pitchers, and with up ball pitchers, you're going to see more strikeouts and you're going to see the ball leave the yard a little bit more. Down ball pitchers, you'll see maybe less strikeouts and the ball stays in the yard. So I think it's just them. To me, when we get ourselves in trouble is when we don't manage our counts. I think it's them understanding and continuing to manage their counts.
Brian.
Coach, we saw a lot last week, and I think 3 or 4 times with KK where she'd hit a single with someone on base, the throw would come in, and she was able to steal second. That type of aggressive base running, is it something that you allow for her to do, allow for everyone to do, or is it her sort of doing it by herself?
Yeah, no, all of them. I mean, after you hit the ball, you become the trail runner. And so it's them seeing what's happening in front of them. And if they have opportunity to move up, then we definitely want them to move up. So I like how she's been doing that. It allows us to get her into scoring position when she does that. So, but I think it's just them continuing, all of them, to be smart on the base path, to get good reads. And when they have opportunity to move up, to move up.
James.
You've spoken before, Missy, about Hannah Gailey and just her presence and being with you for these 4 years. What have you seen by way of just the scale of adjustment? Because obviously, statistically, she's outperforming anything she's done before. And I realize certainly in year one, she kind of got thrown to the wolves there in year one, and was in a different role these past 2 years. But to be able to be swinging the bat the way she is throughout the course of almost all but 2 games of non-conference play, virtually all of non-conference play at this point is done. How she's been able to do it for you?
I just think every athlete has their own journey, and you as a coach can't force them to do their journey a certain way. I think when athletes are ready, they're ready. Some athletes are ready right from the start. Other athletes, maybe it takes a little bit longer, but I just think seeing her journey, and she's in a point right now where she's very confident in what she's doing. She understands what she's doing. Just think sometimes for athletes, they get to a point where all of a sudden it gets real clear. And I just think it's really clear for her. And I think that's a testament to the hard work, to her maturity, to her just continuing to grow every year. I think you just can look at every athlete and you can see they all have a journey, and this is what her journey is looking like. And I'm thrilled for her. As a senior, I think it's important that you walk away and you leave everything on the field, that you don't walk away and you walk away with regret. And I think that's what you see with Hannah right now, is that she wants to put everything out on the field. And I love how she's going about it.
Chris Tracy.
Coach, a quick aside. On Saturday, I learned that some of your team members have hidden talents on making smoothie recipes. Any chance you hire? Any chance you incorporate some of those into your pregame meals?
Oh my gosh. Well, no, that's cool that you brought that up. we have a diamond dinner that we put on every year. We have it in January. This year we had to have it in March just because we're kind of at the very end of COVID. And what's cool is at the end of the evening, our athletes get to show the people that came to the diamond dinner some of their hidden talents, or I guess what they would be willing to do to get a laugh. So yes, we had some interesting smoothies that these guys, I guess Brooke took a nice big gulp of. So, but I think it's great. The diamond dinner just gives our athletes a chance to show another side. You guys know exactly who they are and what they're all about on the field, but I think to see the other side of them off the field and their personality, I just think it's pretty cool for them to put themselves out there.
James?
Something on the scheduling aspect of things, Missy, I was curious. I would have asked it last week, but I was remote. I've been still traveling. Was North Dakota State purely happenstance, or did that come together because of the selection committee chair and everything from a year ago? And the fact that, a year ago, a large part of the resume was teams outside the top 100 because of logistics and COVID. But this year, the whole league right now is in the top 55 in RPI, and you have almost nobody outside the top 100 in RPI. So how much was last week in that matchup a little bit of happenstance? And if anything, was that a message to Matt Larkin and company?
Yeah, no, that's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because no, I mean, like, that's been on our schedule well before the situation, then well before us being determined where we were going to go last year. So no, but that's interesting. I could see how you could see that though. But no, I think, we are going to actually talk with our team today a little bit about just recapping what we've done up to this point. And we've played some really good teams, and to be in the top 50 as a pack going into our conference, I think that's big for all of us. We're all pushing to get us all in. We all want every single team in the pack to be in postseason. So you could see, I think, hopefully you can see we've all made a push for that in non-conference and what we're doing.
Last question, Chris Tracy.
Coach, it was almost a novelty, but last week you had a consistent lineup. Is that something that we can expect to see, that you've kind of got that settled in, or are you still kind of looking to see, the plug and play and lineups and matchups and that kind of thing?
I'm still all about matchups, and if we need to adjust, that's just kind of what we've done. And if we need to continue to do that, I'm not afraid, or our other coaches are afraid to do that. We want to, every time we put a lineup out there, we want to put what we think is the best opportunity to win. But it has stayed pretty consistent in the last couple lineups. So if that's the case, I'm okay with that too. I don't know. I don't really get too caught up in that. I think anytime they just kind of see the lineup and the consistency with it, I'm sure that they like it as well. But I just think it's all about us, what will give us the best opportunity to win every time we step on the field and play. So I think we need to consider matchups and some different analytics that go along with putting a lineup together. So.